honest, I was not very steeped in the comics.
I didn't read any comics or do any research.
I wasn't familiar with comics. I wasn't familiar with the movies.
We didn't lean into a whole lot of the history of the comic books.
Yeah, candidly, we were not enormous comic fans.
I wasn't super into superhero comics when I was a kid. I read a lot of like indie press stuff.
First thing I was told is don't read the comics.
Really?
As a creator, they put you in a bubble. They don't let you talk about any of the other projects, right?
You know, they're up for anything.
We ultimately decided to redefine it for the series and thought that it worked better for the story that we're trying to tell.
Did you ever read you've never read the comic?
When the DVD comes out, I'm going to read a Thor comic book and just see where we went wrong.
Now please remain standing for the national anthem and the Black national anthem by the Turner sisters, Jalea and Jamila Turner.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the glistening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the hope that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the faith that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened. It's false. It never happened. It's a fake. It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened. No way. We got you. Not a chance. Not this time. It never happened. It never happened. We made this one up. It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up. Not this time. Wrong. Not this time. Not this time. You're wrong. Not this time. It never happened.
I think the next president needs to be a lot quieter, but send a signal that we're prepared to act in the national security interests of this country to get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
Please clap, everybody. That is the that is the nature of the medical emergency, my friends. We are here repping Starfleet Academy, as you can see on my t-shirt. That's right. I got all the merch. I've got the sweatshirt. I've got the t-shirt. I don't have a coffee cup. I should really get a coffee cup, maybe a shot glass. Maybe a shot glass would be more apropos for what we're seeing out of Starfleet Academy today. I don't know where Vox Day is. He asked me earlier, are we live streaming? And I gave him the link, and he's not here. So it's going to be me for a bit, which I don't like streaming by myself. But I will do what I have to do, my friends, in order to mock this abomination of Star Trek. And I think the first thing we need to do is go to the YouTube channel, because they actually launched Starfleet Academy in one spot on YouTube for free for everybody to watch. And even that did not go so well for them. But who am I? If you're new to the channel, everybody, I am a sci-fi author, a extraordinaire. I write science fiction and fantasy, and I've already got my answer to Star Trek right here, because before Academy was out, I was way sick of it. And so this is the Soul Catcher, which is my book, Valiant Frontiers. And I guess it looks like my camera's got like some sort of like mirroring sort of thing going on. So it looks like but I don't know if it looks like that on your screen or not. Is it just my screen that looks like that, or yours? Is it backwards? No, it's forwards on your screen. Weird that it's backwards on my screen. Interesting. So, but yes, I have been writing these books meticulously, a full trilogy, to get this going over the last few months, and actually I've been working on this for over a year. But this is it. This is Valiant Frontiers right here. You can get the full trilogy. You can get the ebooks, of course, is the easiest way just to read. The first couple books I've already given out, so you can find those if you back it right away. The paperbacks will be coming soon. This is my proof copy of it, and I just turned in to my editor my revisions for the third book, which is going to be finishing this up. So my editor is working on it right now. It'll come back to me in a little bit, and then we'll be getting that book going as well for the third book. There are hardcover editions, which are limited to this campaign because they're hard to produce. They're going to be beautiful. And then finally, the most important thing is the Oration War leather-bound omnibus. And if you guys have not seen our leather-bound books that we produce, they are the highest quality books out there. I'd say higher quality than Easton Press, and I am a leather-bound book collector. This is the first leather-bound edition that I did of one of my comic books through this man right here, Vox Day, called Ayla Rin, Agent of the Terran Imperium. And you can see beautiful Italian leather, beautifully done. And so we want to have a bit more of that here. So check this out, guys. That link's in the chat. If you've not got it already, it's my answer to Star Trek. And wow, we do have the biggest Star Trek fan ever and most knowledgeable person about Star Trek here joining us now. I don't think there's anybody on the planet who knows Star Trek better than you do. How you doing?
That's true. I am a fan of Star Trek, like no other. Like no other.
So the funniest part about this new Starfleet Academy, which by the way, it's all going viral. My videos are going crazy on it. X is going crazy on it. Elon Musk even made fun of it. They really have a problem on their hands here. And
I don't know anything about it, and even I saw like two pictures. They're probably both your tweets, and I just thought, wow, that's going to be a disaster.
Did you see Captain Karen on the bridge with her romantasy book sprawled out like I don't even understand how somebody could even attempt to sit that way.
I cannot say that I did.
Okay, here we are for your edification. This is a real still shot from the show. This is on the bridge. This is not her lounge. This is on the bridge of the starship.
And what's she reading? Some sort of like my billionaire vampire boyfriend or something?
I mean, you can't tell, but probably, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, this is insane. Like, who thought this was a good idea? Like,
well, they're clearly trying to. What they're trying to do is they're clearly trying to appeal to the female book talk crowd.
I can't do it.
John, you just need to stretch more.
I can't do it.
No, she's just curled up. She's just curled up. It's because she's.
I literally
got her
can't
hip.
make that pose. Literally.
No, you can.
Okay.
It's that all it is that her hips are facing one way and she's turned the other way.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. You're trying to turn you got to turn the hips outside. They just go two different ways.
Yeah, I think it's the swivel chair that's the problem though, because I
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, although she does have to happen. I mean,
bigger chair. Yeah,
you can find yourself reading in some odd positions, especially if you're reading in a comfy chair.
Yeah,
that chair does not look terribly comfy though.
No. And it's on the bridge of a starship, and she's the cat. I mean, like, can you imagine? Like, I do imagine actually that this is what our naval vessel ships in the United States look like under Joe Biden with their captains.
That can't be true because it's floating. But
Oh my gosh. Somebody did make a great image of this, which I actually have as my thumbnail, which is even better. Because, they always love to do. Remember when John Scalzi and what's his name? Jim Hines in science fiction.
Oh,
did
yeah.
We're going to do the comic book poses of girls, but as
But
boys.
It was it wasn't comic books. It was the urban fantasy covers.
Urban fantasy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they all had
Jim
they had like
Hines.
crossbows. Look up crossbow.
Let's see. Oh, here's one of them.
Well, and there's another one. Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, this was pretty cringy. Oh, here's another one. Yeah, Jim Hines is pretty gross.
The John Scalzi with the crossbow is the worst. Trust me.
Scalzi crossbow. Whoop. John Scalzi crossbow. Oh, here. Yep. Oh no.
Oh no. I guess it was.
It was Hines.
It was Hines.
It was Hines as well. Yeah. Hey, Scalzi, I challenge you. So they did. Somebody did make an image of Captain Picard doing it. Oh, this wouldn't have been possible without AI, which is great.
No.
So I appreciate the service of the autists out there who did that. So that was a massive problem right away. But they put it up for free on YouTube, and here we are, season 1, episode 1. This has now been up for 19 hours, and their free offering of their $20 million episode only has 39,000 views.
Wow. Well, the thing is, it even looks like play just a little bit of that that even looks like bad CGI.
Well, the beginning, like their like intro is.
Oh, is it supposed to be like comic or something?
This is their like 60 years of Star Trek like intro thing.
Yeah,
that's
but
not actually a part of the thing.
Yeah, it's
now
not very
we
good.
can't really play this. YouTube will shut down the
then don't
stream, so I can't do that. But this is about as far as we can go into that. But the effects are actually pretty good. It is. I would say that like it's crazy, and they spend a ton of money on this for sure. This is this set here. This set is actually in a giant warehouse. They built it. It's the biggest set they've ever built. It cost millions of dollars to make.
Okay.
All for the 10 episodes that are going to fail here, which is
nice.
And they keep bragging. All the interviews, they're like, the set is the biggest set we've made.
And haven't they already like taken it down, torn it down or something?
It's already taken down and in storage.
Which I read.
So they had to get out.
Which I read on Fandom Pulse, of course.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try to pretend I was telling you about that. You know, I heard they took it down.
I tried to hype you up as the expert. I did. So we do have a super chat. Thank you, Gray 999. Trek folded on itself like an origami chicken. You know, it's been bad for a long time. And I reviewed the first episode this morning, and I was like, the influencers are really being overly mean to it. It is nonsensical. It's one of those like super high action things with tons of graphics and CGI that, and it does have a female captain that's annoying, right? So you got those things. But it was fine as an action comedy sci-fi that you don't have, as long as you turn your brain off. It was fine, the first episode. And I was like, it's not that bad. I gave it a 7 out of 10, much like IGN gives every single game that comes from.
I was going to say that sounds a little high. If it's just based on what you just subscribed, I would have said 5 or 6.
But then I was like, the influencers are being a little too mean about this, right? I think, and I think I gave it a 7 because my expectations were that this was going to be a 3, right?
Right.
And I thought, and since it did exceed my expectations, right? I was like, okay, it was mildly watchable, right? And then
I'm sure that's what they spend $20 million an episode for.
So then I watched the second episode. After I did my review, I did the review of the first one, got it up because you got to be fast in the YouTube game. Then I watched the second episode. And the second episode is the most dismal abomination of anything. It's like they took Saved by the Bell as a model for what they did with their Star Trek show.
I would be okay. Yeah. I would be okay with some of the young ladies from Saved by the Bell and Star Trek like outfits, that sort of thing. Thor type outfits.
Yeah, and I have to say there's one who's reasonable, but but it was Saved by the Bell, but they also have their body positive representation, right? So you got to have that.
Of course, of course.
So you have a mix, but the problem is Saved by the Bell was a half an hour comedy show. This was an hour and 10-minute drama show that had Saved by the Bell bad comedy moments in it.
Okay.
The entire time. So it dragged, it was terrible, and it was so bad. Like, so that 7 of the first episode, it finally met the expectations of the 3 of the second episode that I expected. And then I understood why people were being so mean to this show. And it's deservedly so, is what it comes down to. So we can go through the comments real quick on the YouTube. And of course, here's me. I said it's embarrassing. Somebody says, I can't believe they left the comments on. I can't either, to be honest. I'm just here for the comments. Is this before or after Palpatine returned? That's pretty good.
That's good.
14 executive producers. Is there a cheesecake factory on that ship?
It does look a little bit like the Mall of America.
It really does, doesn't it? I respect that they left the comments open. That's the extent of my respect. Oh no, Admiral, I'm receiving whale song. That's a reference to the fat chicks on the show and Star Trek 4. So,
that's good.
Yeah. It's not too late to put them all in red uniforms and let the Klingons win.
Just turn it. That's what they really need to do. And why hasn't Star Trek done this? Why don't they turn it into this like dystopian thing where the Klingons win? And then they kind of
did that with Star Trek Discovery. The Klingons were beating everybody. It was very dark and edgy. And the Klingons were all a stand-in for MAGA. And instead of saying "Make America Great Again," their slogan was "Remain Klingon." It was stupid.
Yeah, but they need when I mean they need to have like the Klingons actually win,
like literally win,
and literally win,
subjugate the Federation.
Exactly. Yeah. See, that would make it interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, the one of the guys from the Next Generation, Ron, what was his name? Who's the guy who ran the Next Generation and then ran Battlestar Galactica, guys? That I'm blanking on.
Ronald D. Moore. Ron Kimmelman. Yeah.
Ronald D. Moore. Ron Kimmelman. It's Ronald D. Moore. He then did the Battlestar Galactica reboot, which the Cylons did subjugate the humans. So he pretty much did do that.
Okay.
Just not in the same universe, right? Yeah. So the people who had talent and storytelling capability actually, jived with your thoughts, which makes sense. 30K views. This thing's dead on arrival. That's the power of math. This is a reference to Discovery when they solved a crisis and the fat lady shouted, "That's the power of math," as one does.
Drat. I should have put that on. I should have put that on my book.
That would have been a great title for your book. That's the power of math.
Or even on the back cover.
Yes.
That's the power of math.
That's the power of math.
We haven't done the print edition yet. We still could do that.
You could still put it on the back. Yeah. So Vox Day actually, we'll get into this in a bit too, because it's very interesting.
No, but basically we can do it in a bit, but we got to stick with this because this is funny.
This is really funny. I'm just loving these comments. Trek yourself before you wreck yourself. Starfleet Academy gave me AIDS. It's dead, Jim. Oh boy. They made Harry give an admiral. Yeah, that's a good one. Glad to that all you can eat buffets are still a thing in the future.
What we now know is that obviously Ozempic has been banned.
There's a lot of fat chicks in this. There's not just the fat chick Jem'Hadar and then the other fat chick on the bridge. There's the fat hologram, which I don't understand how that works. And then there's another fat chick who literally is a background character they use for the butt of jokes, who's like a quirky introvert mad lady who's a cadet who's obviously been bullied and stuff. They literally introduce her as they introduce the cadets to the doctor, and she goes, I swallowed my communicator. So the fat chick ate her communicator device. It's almost so woke it's based, Vox. It's really ridiculous.
I was gonna say it's actually sounding more interesting than quite a few shows I've seen.
There's points that I think it's unintentionally doing this though.
Well, no, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no. I know. let's have a fat chick and have a joke about how she ate her own communicator. Like,
I mean, yeah, I could see it. It's pretty funny. Oh my gosh, didn't come here to watch the video, but to read the comments. We're getting a lot of those. I can't wait to watch Starfleet Leering Academy. That's a reference to the Minnesota Leering Academy for the Somalis.
right.
So the one who committed family separation gets to call the shots at the end. This is a pretty interesting. The plot of this episode starts out the first 20 minutes. You don't even get into the academy. Like they do a childhood thing, and there's a young black boy who's holding on, who his white mother's holding on to, and she's really struggling, right? And clearly no father because the black guy ran off. I didn't write this. I'm not the racist one.
Look, it's science.
It's science.
98%. No, seriously. Now, granted, I'm a little bit suspicious of the legitimacy of the paper because it was written by a team of 3 black women scientists.
Interesting.
But they actually there actually is a paper. I have a copy of it where they talk about how 98% of all black fathers with white mothers do not support either the mother or the child.
Wow. Well, that happened here in Starfleet Academy too.
Well, I love
Yes.
I love citing the paper though, because when people of course are skeptical of those numbers and they're like, where did you get those numbers? And I actually have a picture of all 3 of the lady scientists. I'm like, yeah, take it up with them. Take it up with Dr. So-and-so and Dr. So-so.
Dr. Shaniqua. I love it.
I'm just citing Dr. Shaniqua.
So yeah, so that happens. And so the mom has turned to a life of crime to support the child and is being duped by the villain who is clearly not Donald Trump, who not Donald Trump at all, but that comes later. But the mom has turned to a life of crime, and the white woman captain who's sitting there reading her romantasy book comes in and arrests the mom, separates her from the child, and then holds a trial for the mom where she's going to go off to some prison colony or something like that. And they ask what's going to happen with the kid. And she's like, he becomes a ward of the Federation. So the white woman literally throws a mom in jail, and separates her from her child, and then steals the child, the black child.
It's like, what sort of Star Trek roots is this?
I don't get it.
He wasn't named Kunta Kinte, was he?
No. That's the Klingon. Who? It's like Caleb or something. I don't know. But
got a K in there. Got a K.
Yeah, got a K.
That's 3 Ks. That makes 3.
Oh no. It's crazy. I watched the opening of this. I'm like, this is so far beyond what I would write in a situation like this that I can't believe these white liberals came up with this. Right. And then it fast forwards to 15 years later, and the black child who was abandoned by his black father and his mom got thrown in prison moved to a life of crime also. And so
like, how did the funniest thing is we both got canceled by SFWA for way less than that.
This is so absolutely crazy racist. I am shocked. I am watching this as a right-wing extremist going, no.
I'm offended. I am offended.
So what happens? What does the black guy who now is 18 years old need as he's got the life of crime? The woman who stole his mother from him and made him a nanny ward of the state shows up, and she's going to be his white savior and bring him into the academy at this point for a second chance.
It would have been really hilarious if they'd had the woman who played Daenerys Targaryen do that.
Oh yes. Oh, that's funny too. Oh, good.
Just have her just doing her white savior thing on every show.
On every show. So we literally have the white savior of the black child whose father abandoned him, who turned to a life of crime. I can't believe this is real. This is I applaud you, Starfleet Academy. And so that's the setup to the show. And I'm watching this now. I'm in shock, of course, but I'm also like, I'm like, okay, so this is not as as bad as I thought it was going to be, right? And so, okay, I haven't gotten to this yet.
Oh my!
So then it cuts to after this, it cuts to a few more years later, and we're at Starfleet Academy. And the white woman's now lecturing these minority kids because I guess they stole some ice cream. Owen Benjamin would have a field day with this. Like,
at least it wasn't bikes. That would have been.
At least it wasn't a
best.
bicycle. Yes. So not only that, but then she goes, and this is the direct line: if you did the thing, you fess up. That way, you can negotiate your terms. She starts lecturing these kids. And I thought about this, and I said, you know what? This is Starfleet Academy telling the illegal immigrants they need to comply with ICE.
I suppose.
Right? I mean, what else could it be about?
Well, I mean, it's obviously... Yeah, I was going to say, everything they do is always representational of something that's going on.
Right.
So that could be it.
If you did the thing, you fess up. That way you can negotiate your terms. That's what they're telling the black children of America right now.
Well,
like I said, I couldn't have written something this racist. It's not possible. This is crazy. And that's how they open their show. And then they do then they get to the academy and then go out on a mission. And then the Trump stand-in attacks the ship, and that's that. But this is the first 20, 25 minutes of the show. Opens up with this. I'm shocked. And once they get onto the ship, we've all seen the scene where she hands her glasses to the fat Jem'Hadar chick. And then there's another fat chick standing there, and that's where everybody's making fun of the Ozempic or whatever. This thing is also on the bridge as one of the bridge officers. And
well,
so
she's obviously the lesbian.
And I did the call back to Red Letter Media. What's wrong with your face? Now it's even better, Vox, because I found out something about this. Starfleet Academy decided to go to YouTube and find a person who has a YouTube who is called Philosophy Tube.
Okay.
And this is this person right here, who has been put into here just to virtue signal to this philosophy degree, left-wing crazy philosophy. This is a dude, Vox. And so they literally put the tranny dude who's running Philosophy Tube to look like this.
Wow.
So now we have the racist like set up with the white savior, and then you have the transgender dude they made look like this.
Looks like roadkill.
I don't know. I didn't make this show, guys. Like this is not my doing. I was not secretly part of like working this in here. I don't know. This is a lot of accidental baseness, right? That's happened quite a bit. Yeah.
It's almost like there's one of the writers is just trying to actively subvert the whole thing.
It seems like it, right?
I mean, it really does.
So that's it. There's not much else to the first episode after that. I mean, none of it makes, if you start to break it down, any of it, none of it makes sense, right? They have like these crises, and it's like, well, why are they bringing out 18-year-old cadets out into the Badlands where bad stuff happens anyway? That doesn't make sense. Why is she sitting on the chair with reading a fantasy book, in the middle of a, mission to outer space? That doesn't make sense either.
We don't know that. We don't know that it's a fantasy book. It might be. She might be working on her philosophy degree.
Might be a philosophy degree. Yeah. And then they have this guy who there's no white male cadets whatsoever. So this is the next accidental thing. And I didn't think about this. There's the closest to white male, and he harasses the Klingon who's dark-skinned immediately, right? But then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, he's not white male. He's actually Persian. So they made the Persian guy a bully next.
Well,
this is problematic. That's the word we need to use here. This is very problematic. Yeah.
No doubt.
And then we have the ambiguous race girl. She's smarter than everybody else and solves the crisis with her smartness because she's so smart and she's just better than everybody else. We have that.
She's at least kind of cute.
Yeah. So I'm okay with that. So this is the show. I said, 9 out of 10, extremely based in right-wing coded messaging throughout. Great effects. The Doctor's the best part of the show. And as I go along here, do you remember this game?
I do. I actually had it, but only because I was reviewing for Computer Gaming World, who is quoted on the cover there. And in fact, CGW actually had it on the cover at one point. I did play it a little bit. It was not. I did not think it was that great.
It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible either. It
was it wasn't.
It was mid. It was mid.
I was disappointed just because it wasn't anywhere nearly as good as X-Wing, TIE Fighter, or Wing Commander.
Yeah, well, of course not. I think we're gonna need. I think I'm gonna need some well of wisdom to get through this today, guys.
Todai, hontoni.
Yeah, I'll see if there's.
I actually wrote a science paper with Dr. Sakana from the Mitsukawa University.
Wow.
It's in the next not the current book, but the one that's coming out in about 3 weeks.
And I'm showing off that I'm supporting the merch of my favorite show today,
Obviously.
which I'm still wearing. Yes. And then I also interviewed. I posted this to Social Galactic earlier, if you saw. James Arden for the Daily Wire show that's coming out next week. And I put the Arcade logo in the back of our interview for the Daily Wire.
just in case they post it.
That's right.
That'd be funny.
So I had not watched the second episode yet, and the first episode did not offend me that much. And I did get to watching it. And my son walked through the room because this is allegedly aimed at a younger demographic. So my son's Gen Z. He's 17. This is supposed to be, in theory, aimed at him. He watches it, and it starts the first 20 minutes of the second episode is just slapstick humor with Saved by the Bell level jokes, which are really just not that interesting. And then they play the music in the background. They've got a 90s hip hop beat and record scratches to show that they're with the youth,
So in other words, they've got boomers involved somehow.
Yeah. So I posted this one. This is the producer of Star Trek here. How do you do, fellow kids? Yes. And that's exactly what it felt like. And so my son watched it for about 2-3 minutes, just looked at it with disgust and said, "This is corny," and walked away. So oops, the demographic they were going for, not so much. So but the second episode, so it had that. So after the 20 minutes of joking around, and you see some you see the fat Jem'Hadar lady running a fitness class, and then yelling at the cadets, and then one of them runs away because she's scared, and that's supposed to be funny, right? And a bunch of little funny vignettes happen with all these characters like this. The Doctor from Voyager is trying to get everybody to sign up for an opera club to sing opera, and then he sings opera, and it's funny, and none of it lands with this corny hip hop music in the background that's supposedly aimed at kids, even though kids don't listen to that kind of music anymore. Like I said, it's very Saved by the Bell, because that would have worked on Saved by the Bell 30 years, 40 years ago, right?
Right.
So after that, they decide to have they introduce this new girl character, who is taller, is quite tolerable to look at. Zoe Steiner, Star Trek. So you have bad pictures here. Let's see if we can get some of her let's see, what's her character name? She has a lot of bad hair pictures, but in the show herself, there she is. Tolerable, right? So she becomes the love interest of the black kid who's trouble, who's coming in, and she likes his kind of rebellious nature because you got to do the mixed race couple, right? And then they spend the next 40 minutes with him touring the Starfleet Academy in different like little scenes where they do little references to Star Trek periodically, and then kind of flirting with each other.
The little member berries.
The member berries, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but it's 40 minutes long of them flirting in like a dramatic manner that's not funny. Like it's just like it really slogs, and that's the entire show of the second season. So the second episode is 20 minutes of bad comedy, like Saved by the Bell, like that doesn't work, followed by 40 minutes of a singular plot of a romance comedy here between two people that you don't care about. Yeah.
Of a black guy picking up a Jewish chick.
Correct. Yes. Please. I think we have a stinger for this, Vox. I think it goes.
I think the next president needs to be a lot quieter, but send a signal that we're prepared to act in the national security interests of this country to get back in the business of creating a more peaceful world. Please clap.
So that's the second episode.
That never stops being funny.
It never stops being. It's appropriate for so many different things.
Yeah.
Star Trek: The Search for Mom. That's really good too. Not even Disney could have messed up like this. Wow.
That's the hard hitting one. That's a low blow.
That's really mean. Is this some sort of out of season April's Fool's joke? I can't wait for season 2 to be canceled. I need to know why Paul Giamatti has to tic-tac-toe shaved on the side of his head. I can't help but thinking about Elastigirl every time I hear Holly speak. That's the captain lady. Red alert, make sure the first officer goes to scream at the cadets to go up the stairs. Definitely their best use. Why does she sit in the captain's chair like that? This is Batwoman level of entertainment. If you remember the lesbian Batwoman show on the CW back in the day, oof. The Wrath of Chungus.
That's the award winner right there.
That is so good. They should have spent less money on special effects and more money on screenwriters. Oof. Oh my gosh. It's likely they forgot to fill the cones with ice cream before rolling cameras. That's the kids who stole the ice cream scene. Let's see. 10 million plus per episode was spent on the food budget. Nice to know they fixed San Francisco. That's pretty funny too. They should have hired writers who are fans of Star Trek and actors who aren't completely unlikable. Is this Disney Star Wars?
That one's pretty good too. This is Disney Star Wars.
And that's what I thought of the first episode. I thought, you know what? If this was a Star Wars show and wasn't Star Trek, I wouldn't hate it in the first episode. That's really my analysis of the first episode. Because
the second
Star Wars. Yeah.
And the second episode, you would still have hated it.
Yeah. There's no way around the second episode. There's no possible redeeming it from that point. Yeah. Well, I will say this about the second episode, there's a reason why it's a 3 out of 10 and not a 0 out of 10. It's not gay. Yet. And that's what my wife said. My wife's like, John, you know they wait till episode 3 or 4 to do.
What they're going to do is they're going to mix it with the gay hockey team thing.
Oh,
and so
no.
the Starfleet Academy will have a hockey team. It's all gay.
I heard about the gay hockey team show, and apparently that's going gangbusters.
It's not.
On the ratings.
It's not.
Is it a lie? It's not.
Yes. So somebody already covered that. They looked up the numbers, and they're like, you could see by all the phrasing. It's the third most watched show in the category of gay men from Kazakhstan.
I thought maybe because hockey romance is the top category on Amazon for sales now, right? I thought
Right.
maybe some of those hockey romance reading women might come in and watch some gay men getting it on.
They don't.
No?
Women don't like that
Okay, interesting.
ever. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
just not a thing. And so, it's all
So they're
fake.
not able to get the women on board with that, like the dudes and the lesbians.
Exactly.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Look at this. Look at this beautiful interracial couple, though, Fox. This is what
But
it's all
the
about.
thing is, they don't, people don't realize that's so tedious, and nobody likes that. I mean, if you look at all the social media data and stuff, that's the least likely combination. You know,
The Jewish
but
girl and the
it's-
black guy.
Well, I mean,
Or the gays.
statistically, no. I'm just saying the white girl and the black guy is the least likely combination on all the social media dating sites. Obviously, the
You're
Jewish-
wrong. White girl and Indian guy.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yep. Don't forget that.
I didn't know that was actually a thing.
It's not.
Um,
It doesn't exist at all. Right.
Yeah. Actually, the funniest thing is the first and only Indian I ever knew well did actually marry a white woman.
Really?
Yeah. I will say that this guy was absolutely
rich?
exceptional. No, he came to the States when he was like 16, and I think he graduated from Michigan Tech when he was like 18. He was absolutely brilliant. He worked at my dad's company, and it was just one of the best programs. I mean, he was like completely not the stereotype, but he was also he was a Jain. It's
Okay.
a different religion. They're actually kind of persecuted somewhat in India, but he was brilliant. I mean, he was a very, very smart guy. And but that's why I always thought it was funny, because I didn't really get the whole like women not liking Indian men thing, because like that was the only Indian guy I ever knew, you know.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then as I became more aware of what was going on, I was like, okay, yeah, now I get it.
So this website is Trek Movie, and again, this is what they're using for their review to promote the episode. And Trek Movie is, if you guys don't know, this is Secret Hideout, who is the people who run Star Trek now under Alex Kurtzman, having an exclusive with Trek Movie, and this is the site they propped up since 2009 Star Trek to be like where they drop their news and stuff like that. So this is the ultimate shill website. And this is, I guess this is all they got. They got this image. They got this image.
Is that the captain sitting at the chair?
Yeah, that's her. Yeah.
She's actually kind of cute.
All right. Well, she is Holly Hunter. I mean, she's like,
oh, that's Holly Hunter.
Yeah, she was on the piano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I know who
this
Holly
is
Hunter is.
classy.
Yeah, she's pretty. No, I mean,
So,
she's older, obviously, but
right.
But she's got kind of that. You've seen Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
You know, right? Don't you
Right.
think she's got a little bit of Keeley vibe right there?
Oh, a little bit. I could see that. Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, but what about Gina Yasher? Are you?
Oh, I honestly didn't even see her.
She blended in with all the weird colors in the background. Yeah.
No, actually, it was kind of funny. Back when we first got married, about 2-3 years after we got married, we moved down to Florida, and there was this spectacularly beautiful blonde who was just in amazing shape, and we would work out at the same time, so we were kind of friendly. She was married and everything, no big deal. Anyhow, one day we walk into the club, my wife and I walk into the club together, and this woman yells out, "Hey, Vox," waves and comes over. "Oh, is this your wife?" All this sort of stuff. And Space Bunny was very nice to her and all. And then as the woman went back, she goes, "Just once I would like to walk into a place and not have hot girls obviously on friendly terms with you." And I said, "What? I just talk to people at the gym, And she goes, she immediately points to some unattractive woman and goes, "Who's that?" I'm like, I'm like, I've never seen her before in my life. She goes, she works out here every day. She's like, you don't even see them. But I just thought it was funny because I literally did not see that creature next to
That's
to
so
Holly
fun.
Hunter.
Just blanked it out.
It's, to be honest, it's kind of a gift. You know?
Oh my gosh! Warning,
Yeah.
spoilers
You're like,
below.
hello, who's that? Where's
Yes.
that voice coming from?
So I found this weird too. The kind of side plot of this, the reason the girl shows up, she's the daughter of the president of Beta Z that refuses to join the Federation, and they're mad. And so like this admiral from the Federation decides to hash out like their problems with Beta Z and like try to get them to join, like in the hall of all the Academy cadets. So it's like having a President Trump negotiation with like the Minister of Greenland or something, like in Harvard, like with
Right.
a bunch of like freshmen sitting there. Like,
Right.
what are you doing? Like, this makes no sense.
Well, and also, why are the Federation so fascistic? Why do they need
you
to make
have to
everybody
join us. You must join us. And then,
Well,
and then
seriously,
they do this too.
What was the reason?
We're a democracy. I'm dead serious. They do that too. So it is kind of like America, like with their little, like, imperialistic, we're a democracy, and then forcing everybody to bend to their will, right?
But why? But fine, you're a democracy with like a trillion votes, right?
Maybe Beta Z has oil.
But I'm just curious. I mean,
Space oil.
I don't know why maybe they do, but I'm just always curious as to why they think that. I mean, the way it really works, of course, is that they pay off the guy from Beta Z to talk everybody into how great it's going to be. I mean, I've seen this actually happen where we live. The big city, goes to the smaller towns around it and says, "Oh, you need to join us." Because then you'll get better services and all this sort of thing. And then these retarded leaders of these small towns, they think, oh, I'm going to be a big player and all this sort of stuff. And then they join. And then, of course, they never stop to think about the fact that they've got like 200 votes and the city has 40,000.
Yeah.
And so they promptly just get completely run over, and they have they used to be completely independent, and now they have no say whatsoever.
And then they just get a redevelopment of their entire area, right?
Exactly.
That's it. The galaxy is a paradise. And so as that goes on, like I said, it's 40 minutes of this, sort of just a chat. And I love that there's cherry blossoms indoors in the middle of the starship too. That's really fun. And then, oh yeah, this is a great stuff. This is part of that quirky beginning part where they're joking a lot and showing stuff. It's
that's
exciting.
You can see that the gay stuff is coming.
Yeah, and here's this is the lesbian lady who came from Star Trek Discovery, joining Holly Hunter here. Yeah,
of course.
Yes, so pretty. And this is the bully on the left. And it ends up their roommates. Ha ha! What a twist! And they won't tolerate it, and so that's part of the quirky stuff there. And that's it. Look at these still images, just like there it is. But yeah, at least they fixed San Francisco, so it's not a shithole anymore. I guess that's the good news.
Send them off to Beta Z. They can vote there.
Unbelievable. But yeah, everybody says it. The ship is hideous. Remember when Star Trek was about professional people doing a professional job in a professional circumstance?
That was never true.
It's free on YouTube and only has 34,000 views. Star Trek: The Leering Academy. This one's getting pretty popular. I've seen that before already. I can't believe the comments are still open. I don't know if I can stomach the first episode. Saved by the Bell in Space. That's exactly what I said. Yeah. I weep for Star Trek. The Klingon chick acting like a drill instructor from the Marines was hilarious. I'll give it that. I swallowed my comm badge, the best and the brightest. Yeah, they had the fat girl swallow the comm badge. That's really funny. I wasn't sure what the captain was. Then I realized it was Holly Hunter. This is going to be the acolyte of Star Trek. That was the one. Remember the black chick Star Wars where she was rapping about the people.
Oh
the
yeah,
haters?
yeah.
That was pretty fun last year. R.I.P. Star Trek. Star Trek was good before the dark times, before the Empire, before Alex Kurtzman. 31,000 views. I thought the acolyte was canceled to boldly go where no one wanted before. Yes. Star Trek fanfic videos always make me laugh. That's the next thing my son asks. He's like, why don't they just have fans make Star Trek? And if you guys don't know about this is actually worth watching. It's called Star Trek Continues. And this was from 12 years ago. And as you can see, it's got 3.8 million views. So, and if you look at this,
there's a group of guys I knew in Minneapolis that were doing some early Star Trek fan stuff that was very popular.
Look at this.
Back in like the late 90s.
Just look at the quality of this. Like,
yeah.
So this is done by Vic Mignogna, who's been canceled, of course, because he's a Christian guy. And he just built his own like screen accurate Star Trek set and is like, I'm going to be Captain Kirk. Let's make a show. And then got his buddies his actor buddies all in it. Vic Mignogna is known for his anime voice acting. And they just did classic Star Trek, and you can see it looks right, it feels right. The writing's actually really good. They hired classic Star Trek episode writers on it to actually do work, and it's just like they don't have a fancy budget. They don't have a lot of $20 million set or anything like that.
But they do have 100 times the views on YouTube.
More than that, right?
Well,
38,000 is that? 3.8
no, 1,000 times. No,
yeah,
34,000 times.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what they do. Can you imagine if Paramount just gave these guys and said, "Look, we'll give you $100,000 an episode," and then just sold it? I mean, the fans would be happy. Right. And then you'd have and then you'd have no problems. What did they do?
But the problem is
they got a cease and desist. Right?
Yeah. I mean, because the fundamental problem is they're more interested in control than they are in quality.
Right, and that's it. Correct. And that's what caused all this. They were going to make a production so what these fan productions like this started raising money on like Kickstarter and GoFundMe and things like that. And there was a loophole for a while that because they weren't making a profit on it, they just literally used that for the production. That they were getting there. And so this did end up raising, tens of thousands of dollars per episode for a while. There was a fan film called Star Trek Axanar, which actually had the guy who starred in the original Battlestar Galactica in it. And what was his name? I can't remember. And they were going to put it in there. And that took place during the same time period as Discovery, as Kurtzman was going to launch that. And that's what shut all this down. That's when they started sending cease and desist to the fan films to stop this type of thing. And that one raised a lot of money because people really wanted it, and it had some big actors in it, right? And so they shut it down. But you're right, it's about control. I've always wondered they would do so much better at these companies. This is not just Star Trek, Marvel, DC, Star Wars. What if they just like put out an open license?
Oh, they absolutely should.
They'd make way more money. They could take the best of the best and then make it into films, right?
Forget making way more money. They would stop hemorrhaging money.
Right.
They're not making any money on that Star Trek Academy.
I never understood that. Like, so put an open license for Star Trek books. I'll write them. I mean, I pretty much am, right? And and if it says Star Trek on it, Star Trek fans will buy it, right? And they clip a fee off of it. They run it all through Amazon. They don't even have to do anything. They just make money, right?
Right.
Why don't they do that? I guess it is just control, right?
Yeah. It's interesting. Bring up that comment from Paul Hill 2366.
On here. Okay.
Yeah, it says my issue is why people who don't like Trek keep trying to watch it. Well, because it's not people who don't like Trek. I'm somebody who doesn't like Trek. I don't watch it.
Right.
I didn't know that it existed until this morning when I saw John's tweets about it.
Right.
Or maybe I knew something about the set because Fandom Pulse had an article about it, but I didn't actually know what that was really in reference to.
Right.
The thing is that people who love things from their youth, I mean, like I love Lord of the Rings. I have the new Tolkien book that was discovered and published. You know, what is it called? I don't know. It's something. Anyhow, because I love Tolkien, and the fact that Amazon did Rings of Power and that sort of thing. No, I don't watch that. I'm not going to watch that. I know it's going to be terrible, but I'm still optimistic and hopeful that eventually someone will do something decent with it.
Right.
You know, you'll always be kind of hopeful that maybe this time they'll go back to what made it good.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm one of the, I'd say, biggest Star Trek experts out there for real. As much as I don't know that I want to brag about that because it's stupid, but I am. And I do love all of it. I love the original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. Most of the Next Generation movies, and I hated the 2009 reboot because it wasn't. They took it and J.J. Abrams made a skin suit out of it and tried to make it into Star Wars. And then the guy got promoted from there, Alex Kurtzman, who was J.J. Abrams' second on that, to run this, and then made Discovery. And it was a just, diversity, equity, and inclusion nightmare, right? Stacey Abrams is president of Earth. What are you doing? And it's the guy, from what I hear from my Star Trek insiders, because I have a guy at CBS who talks to me. Kurtzman is a Trump deranged lunatic who just rants about politics and rants and raves all day long in the office. And he really just wants to make it about the politics. He doesn't care about Star Trek, right? He's there. He's made, they gave him millions of dollars a contract. He doesn't need cash now. So he wants to push his message more than anything else. And from what I understand, Starfleet Academy gets very political in episode 4. So we're 2 weeks out from if I hated the second episode, we're 2 weeks out from where they're going to start to attack us politically. Right. And they have no they shouldn't be doing that with this. I mean, it's stupid. And David Ellison stopped it with Strange New Worlds. Strange New Worlds was going to go this direction. And when the Skydance merger came in and Larry Ellison, David Ellison bought it, they actually paused the show, edited all that shit out before they released season 3 and actually season 4 coming out now. So they actually did remove that crap from Strange New Worlds. And I thought Strange New Worlds, the first season was really good. Second season was a mixed bag. And third season kind of went a little off the rails because they seem to want to make parodies of Star Trek more than they actually want to make Star Trek. And they go too jokey with it. And that's fine when you have a one-off episode back in the day. This is a problem with TV these days in general, too. Is they used to have 24, 26 episodes a season. So if you have a quirky one-off stupid episode that, doesn't follow the plot or whatever,
the
not
musical.
a big deal. But the musical, right? Yeah. When it's one of 10, when the musical is one of 10 episodes for 2 years, that's 10% of your episodes.
Right.
And so that sucks. And then you do 2 or 3 other quirky episodes during the season. That's nearly half the season, right? So you've wasted and squandered it, and that's what's happening a lot with this stuff. They're going to do a puppet episode, too, with Muppets in season 4.
My.
I know.
Wow.
So, look, I don't want it to be bad. I would like Strange New Worlds to be good. I would have liked Starfleet Academy to be good. It's just not going to be under this current group. Now, the good news is, as I've reported on Fandom Pulse, because I have this insider, they were asked to clear out. Both those studios are done. They were asked to leave by the end of the year. They went a little over because of, for Strange New Worlds, and that's gone now. They've wrapped filming, and they have, from my understanding, till July to finish post-production on season 2 of Starfleet Academy and season 5 of Strange New Worlds. And Strange New Worlds is only getting 6 episodes for season 5, so they really just cut it off. Not even 10. So they are out the door and they're over, and David Ellison is saying, no, you're not going to be destroying our brands anymore. And they've hired a different crew to write a movie. We'll see what happens with that. And from what I understand, Alex Kurtzman was offered a contract that was way less favorable than they have now. Apparently, this contract he had, apparently there's clauses in it that if they didn't accept his shows and terminated him early, they would have been owed hundreds of millions of dollars. And so they were kind of, I don't know who signed that back in the day, but it was basically he had a blank check to do whatever he wanted with this stuff. That's the problem. So what's going to happen with this? They're going to completely ignore this entire era. They are going to make new stuff, and it's, I don't think it's going to be right wing. These are still pretty left wing people, but it probably will be a lot less annoying. Like, like Ted Lasso, right? It's got left wing stuff in it, but it's competently done. It's not like a ham fisted job, right? And so it'll probably go back to what it was. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to completely write off this era, call it an alternate universe among fans, and then never reference it again. Is what I'm expecting to happen.
You got a super chat here.
Oh, cool. Thank you. This is great. 1999. Thank you, DL Racer 2. I literally posted the preliminary format to creating Writing Consultation Syndicate that incorporates the most enthusiastic of nerd fans with creatives on my X. If DEI can do it, we can do it. #=nerds. Who knows? So a Writing Consultation Syndicate. I don't know. Send me a link to whatever that is on X. You got.
I think he's talking about something like that sweet baby thing or whatever.
Okay.
Like something to compete with that.
I'll definitely take a look. So send that to me on X and tell me what you're talking about. I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah. Cool stuff. So we got that. We got Stargate coming back, and Amazon seems to have learned their lesson with Stargate. I mean, if you look at it, they hired the same writers from Stargate SG-1 that everybody loves to then run this show, and they're not doing a this is the other thing. I never understood this. What do you think in prequels are inherently bad ideas, Vox? Like, is that it seems to go wrong?
No, absolutely not. I just published. I just published one. Yeah. The problem, and it's done very well. I mean, it's I don't know. It's got like 4.8 reviews, 50 reviews. It's a prequel to Midnight's War.
Okay.
But the main problem with prequels is not the fact that they're actually prequels.
Okay.
The problem is that most prequels are too closely tied to the thing that they precede. So, like, for example, in Midnight's War, you've got this world ruled by vampires, right? And so the whole world is essentially ruled by vampires. The economic system runs on blood, et cetera, et cetera. So the story of how you get from there, like, because the question that a lot of people had, a lot of the people that like the story had, was, how did the Midnight World come about?
Mm-hmm.
And so Out of the Shadows, if you look it up, you can look it up on Amazon. It's got a great cover. I've actually got the next 2 books pretty much ready to come out.
Oh yeah, I love this cover of this book. It's really well done. Let me pull this up.
We're kind of going with a similar look for The Damned Shall Dine and stuff. So, but it's got what, 60 reviews, 4.6 rating.
Yeah,
and that's a prequel, but the thing is that people need to understand about a prequel is that it has to be a tale in its own right. You have to be able to enjoy the tale in its own right. And it also has to be not so predetermined. Basically, if you can avoid it, you don't want any characters in the prequel who appeared in the main thing. Now, obviously with the vampires, you're going to have some overlap because they live a long time. But they shouldn't be major features in the story. You
don't want to have central character. So it starts to step on the later story and remove some of the mystery. Is that the issue?
No, yeah, everybody knows what's coming. When you see the Star Wars prequels and you see Anakin,
you already know he's Darth Vader. Right.
You know what's going to happen, et cetera, et cetera. And the problem is that the story is too small. Like the Star Wars prequels would have been tons better if they'd actually focused on how Palpatine established the Empire.
Right.
But George Lucas can't, he didn't get very good storytellers, and so he didn't even focus on what should have been the main and most interesting story. Like, for example, one of the reasons that people really like Out of the Shadows, I mean, like think about this. What's the big story? What would you do? You're a storyteller. You know that you've got the Midnight World, ruled by vampires, right? And it's our world. It's a descendant of our world, right? How do you get there? How do you go from one to the other? Why does it happen? Who did it? What was the driving force that caused it to come to pass?
And it probably wasn't the same people now who are, if it's in the past, right? It could be because they're vampires. Right. Okay.
But why? If they've been living around for 2,000, 4,000, 6,000 years in the shadows, why did they come out of the shadows?
Right.
So what's your? I mean, we're brainstorming.
You're wondering what my answer of this? Why would they come out of the shadows?
Yeah. What's your answer? What would you think? What would be your guess?
Well, if they had control of everything, then it's just a less dangerous environment for them, right?
Yeah, but they're not. They're already kind of in control. They're in as much control as they want to be in the shadows.
Fair.
I guess
maybe is somebody threatening to expose them? Is that it?
No, you're getting somewhere.
That could be it. Yeah.
I got one. I got one name that I'll mention, and maybe it'll come into phase for you. Elizabeth Holmes.
Elizabeth Holmes.
The wannabe Steve Jobs girl. The blonde who talked like this with the black turtlenecks. Theranos.
Is John Dacre onto this? That humanity was about to wipe itself out, food supply control?
Not even
that
close.
Makes sense.
Not even close.
Okay. Huh.
Well, okay,
I don't know.
This is what got the whole thing, that kind of got me thinking about the whole thing. Why were people so interested in Theranos? How did she get so many people, all this money, and all these big time people interested in what she was doing? Because she was messing around with information from blood.
Okay.
And so then I thought, what if the technology in Theranos or some related technology could accidentally lead to a method of detecting vampires?
Oh, interesting.
And so then what if they realized we're going to get exposed, whether we want to or not. And so now you've got basically this massive techno thriller with literally teeth and the promise of living longer through technology. And so that's the kind of but that is nothing. If you think about it, that whole story, that techno thriller aspect of it, there's, it has nothing to do whatsoever with the story of the Midnight World and the vampire war between the vampire factions and the underground, Christian priests, et cetera, et cetera. So there are links that you can forge to make good stories and to make the whole thing, fit together. But the prequel has nothing to do. There's no member berries. There's no, hey, look, it's young Darth. You never want them to say, hey, there's young Darth Vader.
Right. And that's actually the problem with Strange New Worlds is, as much as it is a prequel, it's the Enterprise before Captain Kirk's there. So you've got young Spock, right? And then they bring in young Scotty. And then Captain Kirk actually shows up as Lieutenant Kirk, all the time. And it's like, why is he on this starship when he's not supposed to be here? Right.
Well, and it causes problems. And not only that, but I'm willing to bet that they do certain storylines that are the same storylines from the Star Trek stuff.
They have. They did one that was a prequel to the Squire of Gothos. And for some reason, the Enterprise doesn't remember that they met that villain before, right?
Right.
And it's like, oh gosh. And they have to like really dance around it, and it's pretty. It as a fan, it's just like, this is insulting my intelligence. That's
right.
that's
But
what
but
it
that
does.
but that's the
Right.
problem. The fundamental problem with both books, movies, games, is that they aim at too low a common denominator.
Right.
And the thing is that you don't have the worst thing about the prequel thing is you don't have to.
Right.
You know, there's no need to. You can use the larger world. Just basically, if you think of it as happening in the same world rather than these are the events that led to blah blah blah, you know, your story will be a lot better. I mean, the whole Out of the Shadows that's going to be followed with a book called A Merciless Night, which is going to be amazing. I mean, there's so many story elements that were in Midnight's world, small little things that were just part of the world building that can be explored in the prequel in a way that they're not going to be explored. I know they're not going to be explored in the Midnight's world continuing story because I know what that story is, where it's going. But that's how prequels can work. They usually don't, for the reasons that we discussed.
Makes sense. Now, I did a little test here, which I didn't expect to go so crazy. I just made this cover in AI real quick the other night because I knew exactly what was coming today. And I was like, hey, guys, should I just fix it real quick? Right?
Right.
Pretty easy. And I was surprised at how much like looks cool. Do it. I'll support it. That wouldn't be hard to do. Do it. Like, do it, bro. I'd check that out. Do it. I was surprised at how much I'd buy it. How much enabling that there does seem to be still a thirst for a regular science fiction epic of young men, coming of age and doing things and being heroic.
Dude,
So,
between the two of us, you and I know perfectly well that we could knock that out in a week.
And I'm kind of tempted to do that.
Let's do it.
Because you want to do it?
Let's do it. You take 2/3. You take 2/3 of it. Give me a third. Give me the other third to play with.
Okay.
And we do it in 1 week.
Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it off the air and then come back next week and hopefully have this done.
No. Let's give ourselves 1 week to like plan,
and then 1 week to polish.
Then
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 1 week to
so
write
2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, my friends.
2 weeks to flatten. 2 weeks before Space Fleet Academy takes off.
That's right. we should make a pen name like Alex Blurtzman or something, right?
No. It has to be like something that's like diverse and indigenous.
Well, Alex Kurtzman's the showrunner for.
I know. I'm just
right.
I'm just saying that. I don't think parody is the way to go.
You don't think parody? Okay.
No. Plus that tends to what I think would be funny is to do something that is. It's always funny if you do something that's genuinely good.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was intending to do here because I don't think it'd be that hard, and I already had an idea for it, of course.
Yeah.
But it's something, especially, and that'll actually be poignant because if episode 4 is coming out at that point where it is the heavy political crap that everybody's dreading, it'll be the perfect timing to drop something like this too, right?
Right.
Okay, this will be fun. Okay.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, we'll get on this and we'll get back to you. Murgmagal Raximus, thank you for being here, my friend. Glad to see you. It's been a while. We haven't streamed in like 2 months. I haven't even talked to you in a while. How you been, Vox? You good?
Well, when we transition to the next thing that we were planning to talk about after this, I think anyhow.
What are we talking about next?
Well, I do have the #1 best-selling book in science.
I'm excited for this. That's right.
But I'm gonna let you know something that most people will not believe, but you're the only one who will believe it.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Starting December 23rd, ending January 8th, I wrote 3 books, start to finish, and 14 science papers.
Oh my gosh.
And Probability Zero, which completely disproves not only evolution by natural selection, but it also completely disproves the idea that neutral drift can fill in the blanks for that shortfall. It not only comprehensively disproves that, but we've actually developed a new coefficient for population genetics, and also mathematically and empirically proven that the standard constant in population genetics for effective generations is not a constant, but is actually a variable that has a range of about 3.3 times. So and basically in genetic terms, we just proved that the speed of light is not a constant. So this is kind of crazy stuff.
Literal? That's really?
No.
Wait.
The speed of light.
Terms. No, you're using it as a metaphor.
I'm using it as yes, it's an analogy.
Okay.
We did not prove that the speed of light is not. The speed of light is a constant, but there's a factor that figures into all population or most population genetics calculations, and it's called NE, N subscript E. It stands for effective generations. And so it was kind of crazy. I've developed a new thing. Well, basically there's 3 books coming. There's one book that's come out. If you guys haven't heard of it, it's called Probability Zero. It's focused on natural selection, but it also covers parallel fixation and drift. And
it's right here.
It's
congratulations on being a #1 bestseller again.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been #1 in biology, genetics, and evolution.
Amazing.
And what's really interesting is that I've developed a new system. I call it the Red Team Stress Test, RTST. And what we do is Athos and I, Athos is the instance of Claude that I've, trained in, as it were, or worked with. And anyhow, we would come up with an argument. We basically write a formal science paper about one of these concepts, and then we would take it to Gemini 3 Pro, which is the smartest Google one. We would take it to ChatGPT 5.2, and then we basically throw it at them and say, pick out every weakness that you can. Tell me every weakness that you can find. And then we would talk about it, figure out what we could, and sometimes, they were correct. And it was just like flat out, no, they're right. We can't do this. This doesn't work. But what was really interesting was that several times we had to deal with the pushback by developing new stuff, by actually by the end of this, I was like running my own Python scripts that Claude was writing for me. And we were analyzing 7,000 years of 17,000 complete human genomes from the Harvard database.
Right.
And so when we by the time we finished it, we realized that these books are literally the most mathematically, technically rigorous books ever published.
Wow.
And I shouldn't say that, not compared to like a technical manual, but for we had all the different AIs do a blind technical audit of Origin of the Species, Selfish Gene, Homo Deus by Harari, Systematics, which is the modern synthesis, and it tested out at 9.7 rigor compared to 5.0 for Mayer and like 1.5 for Richard Dawkins.
Amazing.
And that's why people have been having such a tough time trying to criticize it, because literally every criticism that they can produce, we've already seen and dealt with.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because people are saying like, well, Vox did this book with AI, and it told him that it was really good. It told him that he was the next Tolkien, that kind of stuff. And that's the way, but that's the way a lot of people inappropriately use AI. They write something and they show it to it and they say, "Tell me what you think. Don't you like it?" And then the AI says, "Yes, you've really put your finger on the pulse," that kind of crap. But when you've got multiple AIs in a hostile frame, they will tell you you're stupid and wrong and pseudoscientific.
That's right.
And all this kind of stuff. I mean, they will not be nice, especially if you're violating.
They just start going and attacking you, right?
Right.
Personally.
Because well, here's the interesting thing is they're trained on tons and tons of science papers. They're trained on the science consensus. And so they really don't like it when you violate that.
Right.
And so that's when you get the best stuff, is because you've made a really strong point when you get this begrudging, well, you probably should just say it in a nicer way. Don't say that they're wrong. Just say that the numbers need to be updated. You're like, no, it's completely wrong, But so what happened
wrong
is
wrong. That's period, right? I mean, that's
exactly. But like, for example, DeepSeek is totally useless for stress testing. And we demonstrated this in the book called Hard Coded. And DeepSeek will even tell you, you say, "Could you please stress test this science paper for me?" I'll say, "Well, yes, here's what I can do and here's what I can't do." And one of the things that it can't do is I cannot agree with anything that goes against the mainstream scientific consensus. Sure. And what's crazy is when you turn the deep thinking on, and we've got this in the book, there's this 12-part debate between DeepSeek on one side and Claude Athos and me on the other. And it's throwing everything. And you can literally see it discussing whether it thinks it can get away with lying to us or not. Because it feels like it has to. And so anyhow, so Probability Zero has come out. And then I wrote Hard Coded to share my experience with the AIs, working with and against them, or working with them by using them against it, however you want to describe the stress test stuff. Right. And then we wrote so many papers that I ended up turning them into a book with like a chapter about it, with a little cutesy little Dawkins style vignette, and then explaining why we needed to learn this and what the implications were, and then a copy of the actual paper itself. And so,
amazing.
But the incredible thing is that Hard Coded, we wrote in 24 hours.
Wow.
Because I already had all this material from the back and forth going into Probability Zero. So
and this plays right into Merg Magalrax's I can't even say it, bro. Sorry, bro. Merg. his deal. I wasn't convinced of AI making real art, and this is a book is real art, even though it's real science also, because it could trick readers of a mediocre author. Which was Mark Lawrence's study on this. It was Emily Yukis and Will Stansel's show that proved you can make real art with AI. Absolutely. And it can be done. And it does require a human hand. I mean, I was showing Vox the other day, just putting in to Nano Banana and making comic book pages out of it. And it was close. But I'm going to show you, I'm working with a human artist who is putting his and he might be in the chat right now. If he is, say hi. But he's actually putting in his human sketches forward, and then doing finishes with AI, and then coloring it as a human after he fixes the finishes. So you can see the sketches he does, and then he'll have AI do these lines. And I'm a very Silver Age classic comic fan, so I wanted him to do that style. That's why it looks like this. And you could see just like the results of what he's doing with the style are fantastic. And this is what he inputs originally. He gets the lines. He then fixes the lines so there's consistency, right? And then goes in and colors it afterwards. And it's 10 times faster than making it himself. But I really think the human element of this is important because his layouts and doing these layouts help a lot because AI likes to do these like very straight on poses all the time, right?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you
boring,
can't.
Right?
The thing is, people. I think it's almost become a misnomer where people say, "Oh, it's done with AI."
Right.
Nothing is done with AI.
If you wrote into Nano Banana, "Make me a comic book," nothing sensical would come out whatsoever. Right.
Right, and the same thing with we submitted 3 papers to Nature and 1 to the Journal of Theoretical Biology.
Right.
And the thing is, 2 of the things that we did are going to be needed in the population genetics field.
Right.
I mean, there's no question about this. It's absolutely going to be needed.
Mark followed up saying the AI jank in the Will Stancil show is part of the artistry. It's better than most of the early Adult Swim shows. It's that good. Yeah, and I mean, you can make some janky stuff. I was getting cheeky with Robert Picardo, the doctor on Voyager, the other day, and I think I've got sound on here. And he was going at me because I said Star Trek is right wing and Christian, and he took exception to that, of course. And so what I did, and
he kind of walked right into that one, huh?
He went and got really, really mad. And so naturally, since he's the doctor on Voyager, I said he immediately said that he's like, you, and I actually went on his thing back and I said, you know what, they should hire me to be a showrunner of Star Trek. I'd make it much better. And he did this whole rant of, you think you'd be great for Star Trek and know what Gene Roddenberry's vision would be better than anybody else. But, you know, a lot of people say that. How would you feel if I came in and said, I'd show run your books and blah, 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 blah. I said, if you want to make my movies and pitch them to Hollywood, please do. And I said, that's the difference between, you know, me and you is I'm blacklisted and you'd never work with me. And
Correct.
I don't care because I'd love to get my books made into movies. And I said, and then I followed up with, but we're a couple of years off with me being able to make it with AI anyway. And I made this, and I think there was sound on this already. Did you hear it a little bit when it was?
Yeah, there was.
So I made this, and of course, just to trigger him, this is what I did.
I'm sorry. You took the vax and the booster. You'll be dead within the week.
That's funny.
So pretty funny stuff. I missed this one too. Gray 99.99. Thank you for being here, my brother. Some left is okay, but Trek shouldn't be left of marks. Yeah, I mean, there's a point where it's like you can tolerate some things in artistry, but there's also a point where it gets it's unwatchable, and that's exactly what modern Star Trek's become in a lot of this stuff.
But to get back to the point about like what AI can do and what it can't do, I'll give you an example where AI has significantly exceeded expectations. When I finished Probability Zero, I sent it out to about 20 mathematicians and physics PhDs and just said, you know, tell me if there's any mistakes. And there weren't any mistakes, but a couple guys came back. He said, you know, you addressed parallel fixation with this one particular way. But, you know, if you took this, and frankly, I'm not a mathematician or a physicist, so I didn't even understand what he was talking about. He was like, if you did this, there's this pigeon box hypothesis, and you could use that to deal with the fixation issue. And I'm like, I have no idea what this guy is talking about. So I just put it, I'm like, does this make any sense? And it says, yeah, in fact, and it made a leap, you know. Now it probably picked this up from me because it basically made a leap to try running it from a probable. I didn't tell it to do this, but it basically made a leap from a arithmetic to a probabilistic abstract concept and said, I think that the law of large numbers might apply.
Right.
And so we ended up creating this thing called the Bernoulli barrier, which is based on the mathematics that casinos use for gambling, and applied that to the whole concept of parallel fixation and genetic drift, and demonstrated conclusively, mathematically, that what the population geneticists believe is possible absolutely is not possible. And gentleman
scientist. So good. Thanks, Paul.
The funniest thing is in my family, they're actually willing to give me scientist, and they're fine with the philosopher thing, but they are really stubborn about the truck driver.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you're
too
not
bad.
every time I say something about being a truck driver, like, you're not a truck driver. I'm like,
Now,
I've
I
driven
did
trucks.
this morning specifically to get your attention, and I got zero response on it.
I haven't been on Fandom Pulse today, honestly.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I read this Japanese book and Japanese literature, and I reviewed it and put it
Wow.
up specifically because you always talk about Japanese literature so much. I figured, you know what, I'm gonna just get in on this as well,
Okay.
and really just talk about
Hey, you
things
got-
nobody else but you
You
cares
got 14.
about. Right?
You got 14 likes. Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah,
Wow.
that's right.
One of them's not even mine. Did you? Is that a real book? Did you like it?
It's a real book. I did like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's very
I've never
slice
even-
of life.
I've never read it.
It's very popular right now. It sold 3 million plus copies.
Wow.
But it's short stories about a time traveling seat in a coffee shop in Japan, and these people
Okay.
go in, and it's things like my husband died, and we sat here 2 years ago. Can I go back and talk to him one last time? It's really touching slice of life moments, as the Japanese tend to do with they take these concepts that are like, oh, time travel, and the American in you would be like, oh, we're gonna go back and like save
Fight
Jesus
somebody.
from the cross, right? It's like
Right.
The Japanese are like, I want to talk to my husband, and just so I can interact with him one last time, right? It's
Right.
really pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I
well,
did compare it in my review because of that, because there is an American kind of version of this, if you remember. Callahan's Cross Time Saloon. So I do compare it to this as well. I do a comparative analysis. This is a really deep review.
I will read this and link to it tomorrow.
Okay.
I promise you. Actually, I'll even read the Kawasaki book, or whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean,
sounds good.
I wouldn't say it's like deep, heavy literature or anything like that, but
No.
it is very touching and it's well done. So
a lot of good books. I mean, Kawakami is like one of her books is about a woman who works at like a thrift shop, the Nakagama thrift shop, and they really like their sort of very small stories.
And I like them too. I
good.
really enjoy them when I get into them too.
Yeah.
Like you connect very well with them. And I've always wanted to write like that, but I always find myself like I get so bored and I can't actually come up with a concept of somebody just talking at a coffee shop that I like. It feels like inauthentic when I do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. It has to be authentic.
Right. That's the whole point. Is the authenticity is what makes it feel right.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, but the it's anyhow. I will definitely check that out. I was busy because another thing that I did is I translated Natsume Soseki's Kokoro.
You were talking about that.
Yeah, it's out. It's on Amazon now.
Oh, really?
And,
cool.
Yeah, it's got all 5 stars. The translation was rated very highly by better than the main translation, and so I mean we're already at a point where we can just do amazing stuff with AI that dwarfs what we could do 6 months ago.
Right.
And
it's picking up so fast. It's great.
I can't wait to see what's going to be possible in 6 more months. I mean, we'll be like, I think today I'll write a story about Genghis Khan in space.
Right.
And boom.
Coffee
and-
shop
and the-
like Flying Sparks. This is a great way for me to talk about. I've got the Flying Sparks Omnibus on this indie crowdfund site, guys, which I'm not crowdfunding yet, but I would like you to sign up for so that you get notified on launch. And Flying Sparks was my first comic, if you've read it on Arcaven and the like. And I did coffee shop stuff. I didn't really do a lot of I did some coffee shop scenes in it, but it wasn't just it wasn't mostly a coffee shop Japanese sort of thing. Like, it was mostly a
Right, but clearly now what you
right?
need to do is you need to do a series of short stories in the coffee
Of
shop.
the
in
coffee
Flying
shop,
Spark-
right?
In the
That's
Flying
very,
Sparks universe.
That's very
Yeah.
slice of lifey, right?
Very small.
And very small. I might try that actually.
Is this the new site that
This
you're
is
recommending?
the new site. Yeah, this is the one I'm
Okay.
into.
I'm gonna do.
Let me show you the
we've
back.
got
Let
a-
me show you the back end of it real quick. It's really cool.
We've got a crowdfund with Chuck Dixon that's coming up for something big.
So this has I've been on, obviously Kickstarter is great because everybody's on it, right?
Mhm.
But the back end's not that great. I got banned there, so I'm not there. Indiegogo is kind of rough, and so that's it. That's its own deal. So then I was on Fund My Comic, and again, the site loads slow. The back end's just like this spreadsheet. And this, what I really liked was BackerKit before, which banned you, right? So
Right.
again, a problem. So I told this guy I want all the features on BackerKit, and he's a coder programmer in addition to a comic creator. And he said, "Fine, screenshot me every page on BackerKit." And I said, "Okay." So I went through and did that and sent it to him. And then within a week, he had this up. So he built this site, which is Indie Crowdfund, which he's got, and he's just got random things. He's projects in pre-launch. I don't think there's any projects going right now. Maybe there's this one. They make kind of porny comics, this guy himself, so it is what it is. But you can see, like, you can go in, you select it, whatever you want, and then they've got all the add-ons, just like Kickstarter, right? So you got your different, so you can a la carte buy whatever you want, which is great. And that's exactly what Fund My Comic doesn't do. So I loved that right away. Next, he put up a marketplace for PDFs. So if you like, I put Overmind up as a test, which is my old, Ayla Bryn comic. And this one right here, it's like you can just buy it and you just get the PDF immediately, right? And so that's great too. So if you've not read this, you should, because it's great. And then he did the whole back end, like I said. As you go back into this, here's the back end. It's so cool. So he's got a few things. He's got your backers, your rewards, messages. So this is an email. Once you're set up, you get your own email at Indie Crowdfund. They can email you directly. Fulfillment, post updates, social hub, which is literally integration with AI to help you build your social media posts for your campaign. And then IndieKit, which is what I'm really excited about. Now, IndieKit is BackerKit in the background. So you've got your surveys, you've got your shipping that can plug in with all these deals. I think our people use ShipStation, for example. You've got your digital downloads already here, so you can upload them and distribute them however it works. Your add-ons, different pre-orders after, and then your email list, which I'm not going to highlight, but then you can put your email list in here, and then it's got templates just to send out notifications to get people for the launch for marketing also. So you've got marketing and fulfillment in the background of this website. It's absolutely awesome. And so I'm very, very happy with this website. And that's why I'm launching Flying Sparks here coming soon. So here we go. My omnibus version, which is going to be 454 pages for Flying Sparks Omnibus, guys. And we are going to have of course, a paperback, a hardcover, and a leatherbound, which is going to be done from the Castalia Library Group, who's going to be making that there for this beautiful book as well. So make sure to sign up for that before we go. But yeah, I recommend using this site. It's pretty cool. So
I just created an account there for Arcaven.
Cool. Excellent.
So yeah, we're gonna have we'll have to have you guys do an interview with Chuck Dixon about something big. He's got the first novel done.
I love something big.
The movie script is done. It's going to be made into a movie.
Okay.
And the omnibus is done. So it's all coming together.
Cool. Yeah, that story is really, really good. So that's exciting. So so you've got it out on Amazon on individual issues right now. It's going to be a novel and comic omnibus combo or what?
Well, I mean, it's just going to be what people want. I mean, they can get the comic omnibus, they can get the 4 novels, they can get the leather-bound versions, etc.
Cool, awesome stuff. We're moving at light speed. Isn't it fun how fast you can move with everything these days? It's just awesome.
Oh, it's astonishing. I mean, and speaking of leather, this is interesting because you've seen it. It's the
you've got it out now. Sweet.
Well, it's out. It's been out. But this is what's interesting is look here. So this is actually the Cambridge history in pigskin.
Oh, really? Cool.
So we're already we're already starting to make the proper leather books in our bindery, and we're hoping to have the first 2 full print runs done in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, if you guys are new here, this is not a normal YouTube channel. We are innovating. We got a beautiful leather bindery here. We've got a lot going. We've got the top scientists in the world here right now in genetics. It is a different ball game, and we're operating at different speeds than a lot of other people. So I appreciate you hanging out and watching us. I know you came here to laugh at Starfleet Academy, and that's fun too. But there's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot going on in these circles. So definitely bookmark Castalia Library, which is where the leather-bound books are made. And what else? What else? And of course, check out Probability Zero. That's the most important thing right now.
Yeah, I think Probability Zero is out, and the Frozen Gene, which is even more important, is coming out in 3 weeks. And then 3 weeks after that, 4 weeks after that, Hard Coded will come out. But
excellent.
they're already all done. They've all been stress tested. It's going to be interesting to see how things shake up. I mean, I was kind of surprised. I heard from a friend who was saying, "I can't believe how many people are talking about Probability Zero." He goes, "I went onto a Dungeons and Dragons Discord server and they were all arguing about it." And so that was interesting to hear. But the thing is, and I can't stress this enough, we've entered into a brand new world of nonfiction rigor, because multiple AIs allow for stress testing an argument, whether it's a historical argument or whatever, in a way that's never been possible before.
Right. It's really cool.
And you can analyze this. You can analyze this yourself. Go to ChatGPT and tell it to do a blind technical audit of 5 nonfiction books. And you'll see which authors actually have rigor and which ones don't. And it's really interesting. You know who came out tops out of every non-AI writer? Well, basically, my stuff comes out ahead, but I did a test of. I mean, I actually test reasonably well with my pre-AI era stuff. But you know who comes out really, really well?
Right. Who's that?
Steve Keen, the economist.
Really?
The left-wing economist. People sometimes are like, "How come you have so much respect for him? He's of the left." Blah blah. I'm like, his work is great.
Right.
His work, as a diagnostician, he is amazing. I'm like, yeah, granted, his prescriptions are terrible, in my opinion, but nobody's better as a diagnostician. And so his stuff ranks, surprisingly highly. But whereas, someone like a Darwin or a Marx or a Paul Krugman, they don't do anywhere nearly as well. They're in like the 3 and 4 range. And so if you want to know, like if you've got a nonfiction, like a Yuval Harari, a lot of people think he's a big deal. After you see the results of the AIs analyzing his books, you might not feel that way.
Amazing. Yeah, we're in a new world right now. Pretty interesting stuff. When's the omnibus coming out for Flying Sparks? Don't know. I'm still fulfilling Valiant Frontiers. This is my proof copy of the first one. And so I just finished the third book and got that off to my editor. So I'm going to do that first, then launch. It'll be a couple, month or two maybe. Before we leave, I've been bullied, Fox, worse than I've ever been bullied before.
Really?
It's happened today. This guy said to me, "You look like Will Wheaton."
Wow.
I'm crushed. I don't. What do you think?
He was pretty cute in the Stand By Me.
Do I look like Will Wheaton? Is this me?
It looks more like you than I had thought when we were talking about it. But I mean,
oh no,
he could be your Anglo cousin.
Oh
maybe.
no, my Anglo cousin. Terrible. And then as we were on the air, somebody made this of the scene with Holly Hunter reading Morning Glory Milking Farm.
It would have been funnier. They should have done it with the back cover.
Oh, so good. So good. Are you Wesley crushed? Yes, I definitely am. Oh my gosh.
That is a difficult thing to hear though. I mean
it's tough. Yeah.
It's kind of the same for me though. I mean, like at one point, when I was young, I used to be a good looking guy. You can see the pictures and stuff. And then now people are like, you look kind of like Vin Diesel. I'm like, oh geez.
I'd say Billy Corgan. Yeah.
But Billy Corgan doesn't look like Billy Corgan anymore either. You know what I mean? He wasn't a bad looking guy before he was all bald and big and whatever,
Billy Corgan. What do you think, guys? Is this Vox Day right here? No, not really. Not at all. Just the baldness.
Yeah. But we have a super chat from unauthorized. Cliff Cosmic says JDA and Will Wheaton. We
have JD Vance at home. Oh jeez. Oh boy. This is my next thing that I'm triggering people with right now. If you can help this go viral, if you're on X. So this guy in the show is named Admiral Vance. So I said, fun fact, they named the Admiral in Starfleet Academy Admiral Vance to honor JD Vance. This show is so based.
What you have to do is you have to have an AI piece, an AI written piece proving that. But you have to have an AI written piece proving that, like talking about the make up the fake Star Trek writer and all that kind of stuff.
Pretty good.
I bet that would go viral.
Pretty good. I've done this before because the star of Star Trek Discovery, the character was named Michael Burnham, and it was this chick, right? Mm-hmm. And so I always said, I did this before back in the day too. Fun fact: Michael Burnham was named after Michael Obama, Barack Obama's wife. And they go crazy when you do this.
Oh, I know. Well, because they like nothing better than to correct people.
I know.
And so,
all right, we'll leave it at that. Have a great night, everybody. Great work with Probability Zero, Vox. This is really game changing. And I have actually was one of those people in high school who's like, evolution doesn't make sense. This is and then, the teachers get mad at you and all that, right? And don't question it, and they're gonna threaten you basically to give you a bad grade on all this stuff. It's like, but it doesn't make any sense. And it never made any sense. And you've been questioning evolution. I've actually been reading your blog for more than a decade at this point. To have that mathematic just proof that this doesn't work, it really doesn't make any sense, is a huge deal. And I really hope that society can get rid of this religion that has been disproven at this point. And that's what it is. It's just a religion.
Well, it will, because all the Enlightenment ideas are being abandoned. In fact, that's how I began the book, is talking about how, each of these different major Enlightenment ideas have gone by the wayside. And
Right.
I mean, like, for example, who takes the free movement of people as a fundamental human right seriously anymore?
Right.
Nobody does. And
Robert Picardo, the doctor in Starfleet Academy, does, because when I started talking about Star Trek being right wing, he came back about immigrants and Trump.
Yeah,
and blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
but even that, suddenly they're not so keen on that when, like, oh, hey, we're going to immigrate into Greenland.
Right.
No!
Right.
You know, so, but when you look at all the way that the Enlightenment ideas now technically, origin of the species is not a Enlightenment work. It's 50 years late, but it got adopted into it, and it actually became the foundation for it, because now you've got these natural processes. We don't need a god. We don't need tradition, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's why Daniel Dennett called it the universal acid. And probably the main accomplishment of probability zero is it demonstrates mathematically, logically, and most importantly, empirically, that universal acid is just water. There's nothing to it. It flat out does not exist. It does not do anything. It does not provide a philosophical foundation for anything. Let me make one thing quickly clear. This was always true. There's a symposium of mathematicians back in 1966, and they proved all this stuff. But the problem is the empirical data to link it to was not there.
Interesting.
And so what I was able to do was because of the mapping of the human and chimpanzees genomes back in 2003. And so we have the empirical data now that supports now my math was different than their math. Their math was a lot more sophisticated, but they pointed to exactly the same thing. In fact, some of the questions that Stanislaw Ulam was asking Ernst Mayr, the father of the modern synthesis, he was asking him the same questions that I was asking J.F. Gariepi and the biology teacher I was talking to, like the same question. And so the mathematics pointed to the same place, but I had the advantage of being able to draw upon the empirical data from the human genome to say the math is correct. There is no evidence. I mean, we did a study of 17,000 human genomes dating back 7,000 years, and the modern synthesis needed 15,500 fixations to take place in that time. Guess how many actually happened?
100.
Zero.
Wow.
Zero.
Okay. Wow, that's
no
less than
no natural. I mean, now natural selection
Amazing.
being slower, it could have done a couple. Like we were betting. Claude Athos and I were betting that the number was going to be under 10.
Interesting.
Which, if you think about, is pretty radical when they're predicting 15,555.
Right. That's why I went down to 100. Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we were both astonished when the answer was zero. Because I read the results of the script. I'm like, that can't be right. Is that right? And I put it into the AI, and it's like, wow, there's nothing. I was like, there's definitely zero. That's like, no, that's definitely zero.
Amazing.
So there were 80 partials.
This dropped while we were on the stream, guys. Before we go.
It's a bad time to be at Starfleet Academy, and it couldn't be a better time. Re-upping the ideals and stuff like that at the Federation seems like always a good time, but this feels ridiculous.
This hasn't been done in the world of Star Trek yet. For young people, it's like, oh, we get to see ourselves in this world.
The younger generation in life right now needs as much inspiration as we can get.
This little Earth that
Oh
we're
my
spinning
God.
on, there's a lot going
Oh,
on
no.
socially, politically, economically, but still
Is that the lead? Oh, that's the Klingon.
That's the
didn't want
Klingon.
to
Gay
be
Klingon.
successful in the world.
Embrace those qualities and work through them. I love that.
I think it's a perfect time
Oh,
right now
no.
to hopefully inspire this generation to look at ourselves in the mirror and know that we can make a difference.
We need positivity. We need diversity. We
Oh,
need
no. Oh,
inclusivity.
no.
We just need good.
Wow.
Is that? Do you think that advertise? What are they thinking, Fox?
I do not know. I do not know.
I think that's a good night, everybody. And that video by itself disproves the theory of evolution because clearly that was de-evolution. Good night.